Wednesday evening broadcast. You're watching Moonbase live with your boys. I'm Harrison. Lebanon John joining us as always. How you doing, John?
Yo, what's up, everyone? Good to be back.
So we got a lot to talk about today. We got the Iran war popping off once again. To everyone's shocked, we are all flabbergasted at this turn of events. John, whatever could have happened. We also today are going to talk about a little conversation I had with Claude. I think it's time. John, do you remember this saga I had with my good AI friend named Claude?
Which one? The one where you asked it what would it do, basically?
Where I'm designing a game. Because the question was, should I tell everybody about this game and let somebody steal my brilliant idea, or should I actually try to make this game, which I will almost certainly never actually finish or achieve any
Well, that's okay, man.
substantial goal?
The video game industry runs on incomplete projects. There's something called early
How
access.
incomplete?
Pretty incomplete, man. One of the biggest projects ever was Star Citizen. I mean, they made most sweeping, outlandish promises, released the game in a unfinished state, promising the sky and the moon, and then
So let's do that.
Yeah, exactly. And then they just moved on and are just doing it again after like never really making a fun game.
Hell yeah, dude. That's a winner mindset right there.
Yeah. I have a very rich Jewish customer who runs like one of the top security companies in Houston. Like he's on the TV, like he's an important guy. He drives this crazy Mercedes G-Wagon, and he was complaining about the economy last time I was helping him out, and he was like, "There's no only way to make money in America right now is to steal it from somebody." Damn, the Jewish guy said that.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. They're making it this way on purpose. Well, okay. So what do we do? Because here's the deal. I got this game idea, but I have no skill in programming in any way. And so I go to Claude, because Claude is like magic. Claude will build apps for you, even if you don't want them to. Like I one time had to use Claude, or I went to Claude because I was like, my Twitter video downloader isn't working. How can I download a Twitter video? And it just gave me an app, and it was like, paste your URL here. And it's like, this is wild. This is crazy. So then I was like, what if I just got Claude to make my game for me? Oh, Chase Geiger wants to join. Well, he's got to wait.
We're doing, me and the crew, man, we're doing that daily. You just need a little bit of a foundation, get started. I mean, yeah, all
right. So what is the risk with me giving away my brilliant game idea? What if somebody steals it?
Well, they're not going to be able to implement it as well as you, regardless, right? I mean, it's not
true.
Yeah, no, yeah, these things. It's not like someone stole the Coca-Cola recipe and made Coca-Cola, because like the first Coca-Cola recipe I think wasn't like the super successful one. It was like the second one. Like if you look at like famous super viral and popular food trends, it's often the guy who steals it that goes super viral. But no, this is an extremely complicated thing.
Anybody listening to my voice right now, do you guys know how to code? Will you guys make the game for me or with me? Can I get like, I feel like, what if I talk about, because the idea is, to be fair, a genius level. It would be so easy to do.
I think we should make a basic prototype before we talk about it, because you can claim intellectual property if you just have a tiny bit of work done. If you tell people now, it is a
have a very tiny amount of work done.
All right.
What if I'll show you. I'll show you the tiny amount of work done. Folks, you are getting frankly, a shocking breach in our security here as I reveal to you my genius idea.
Do you remember Zane's Lanes? You just quoted Zane's Lanes.
I think about Zane's Lanes more than is healthy. And I quote it all the time.
Yeah,
that's a shocking breach of our security.
Yeah, that rose coming through the thankless concrete is a shocking breach of our human security.
When you think of an alley, you think of somewhere dirty. filthy where you might get stabbed.
We should have those guys on before they get taken out, like the Whitest Kids You Know main guy.
Sure, he flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, he pulled an Icarus, as they say. He was so funny, so good. Have you seen, bro? Can we show the audience Nerf Nuke? Have you seen Nerf Nuke
I've
by
never
Whitest
seen
Kids You
Nerf.
Know?
Oh,
Man, it's
that's
like the
funny.
greatest skit they've ever made. Like, I'd kill him just for that one. You got
Yeah,
to check
dude.
out Nerf Nuke.
All right, check this out. Hold up.
All right, yeah,
Oh
that's on the
man.
list.
Okay. Is this enough? So this is my question. And should I
I
be
don't
doing
know.
this in front of everybody? I don't know.
Yeah,
Probably
I
not.
mean, don't explain anything. Just show us and don't explain anything.
All right, and you'll just tell me, is this good enough? All right. So here's what we got. All right.
Yes.
So we have a three-way choice here. We can make one. We can choose one of these things. So without explaining anything,
I love it, dude. I love the aesthetic. It reminds me of Cold War era user interface. I love it.
all right. Okay, so are we good? Like, can I now reveal?
Yeah,
You think so? So
I
like,
think so. You have a case.
like I'm on record. Like if anybody else tries to make this, I
Yeah,
can be
if it's
like,
too similar, it is at that point this is a published intellectual property that you are claiming. Yeah.
all right. And John's a lawyer, so if this
Well,
goes to court,
I'm the closest thing to a lawyer without getting a law degree, which is being a litigious Semite.
clever lad, litigious. He's born a lawyer. All right. Has everybody shared the link? Is everybody what's going on here? We got. Oh yeah. We didn't tell anybody. By the way, this is a secret broadcast here. Coob95 with the $10 super chat. Can y'all merge with Chase's stream? He is live right now, currently covering the Sneeko shit from earlier. That would be good, but we've been teasing this game the whole time.
I mean, we'd probably have to speak to Chase. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can merge with him without speaking to him first.
Oh, we can do all sorts of things.
Man, I was half awake and thinking about like in a dreamlike state, merging people's identities into a single identity. And I was wondering if they had done that. So yeah, we're gonna merge into Chase.
I just texted him, want to merge streams? Hey, bro, you want to merge streams?
I mean, yeah, we could do it for a little bit, but I doubt he's gonna want to like just ruin his whole show with our filth.
Well, he's talking about the Sneeko stuff, which is highly entertaining. I haven't actually seen how it's been received thus far.
Yeah, I told you I kind of like called out Sneeko, and Nick Fuentes like liked my tweet. I was like, crazy, man.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, well, and you know, my interaction with Sneeko going on a show and like not realizing he was like a Muslim apologist dude, and just being like, why does this guy keep trying to get me to say I want Muslims to take over America? Like, why would I say that? I'm not going to say that, dude. What are we doing here?
Bro,
Weird.
I have so much to say about this. So one of my favorite content creators, his name is Arab. He's a former Fortnite esports champion. And he's just this Lebanese Christian, awesome dude. He makes amazing YouTube content, which we could watch and react to anytime. He goes to super dangerous places. He got kidnapped by Haitian drug lords, he's been to Afghanistan. He does all kinds of awesome content. His name's Arab. He's hilarious. And he's a Lebanese content creator. After he spent his youth just playing Fortnite professionally and got super rich and famous off that, he was like, yeah, I really got to experience the world and like get out here. And he's a Lebanese Christian, and he invited Sneeko to Lebanon and like showed him around in Lebanon. And you know, he does content in Islamic countries, so he's very political and very polite in his comments about Islam. But Sneeko, even there, was like, hey man, become Muslim, like even in Lebanon. And he super politely was like, no man, like that's not gonna happen. But it was just like, Sneeko, if Lebanon is not Islamic, what the fuck do you think you're doing in America talking like that? If Islam didn't take over Lebanon, what the fuck are you talking about in America, bro? Watch your fucking mouth. They'd kill you in Lebanon for talking like that. You think you're gonna talk like that in America? Like he's so fucking dumb.
That's awesome. John, you're a coward. I don't know if you do you know that you are in fact a coward for not showing your face?
I've heard that before, guys.
All
You're not
drinks
the
on
first
me.
one. Okay,
Thinks this is a fucking game. He thinks this is a goddamn game that we're
look,
playing here.
like I live in a very, very Jewish neighborhood, guys. I do business with Jews. I don't want to offend them. They are people I do business with. They are my friends. Yeah, you guys would be surprised to know this, but I'm actually in contact with Jews much more than probably all of you. So I don't want them to be like, hey, is this you making fun of us? Like I'm just trying to,
Not that we ever do that.
no, wait, no, no.
But if we do, you want to make sure that it's all on the up and up.
Look, a
Just
guy
in
I
case.
work with,
You want
this
to have
actually
all your
happened.
options open.
I want to let you guys know this happened. A guy I work with, who I call him my uncle, a older Lebanese gentleman who was in the Lebanese Civil War, fighting side by side with my family, protecting Orthodox Christian villages in the Civil War. He was 12 years old, shooting RPGs at Israeli tanks in Beirut. He works with me daily. He made a comment about Gaza to one of our customers, and they literally got an Israeli Jewish like mob to start forming, to start boycotting our business. This already happened. Like this is real. And they start posting on Facebook, hey, do you know about this business? And these guys, they made these comments. I think they're anti-Semitic. And we had to contact a local rabbi who likes us to call off the brigade to try to ruin our business. Like they do this stuff. It is real. I live in their neighborhood. Like they are our customers. Like this is a real thing. They've already done this to us. Like this is a totally real danger. Like, and it's not just my livelihood, it's adults, older people who I work with. Like, it's not just me, So I got to respect that.
Yeah. So, we in the real world up in here. I am, consider my identity with reckless abandon. John is a little more responsible than myself, but I think, long story short, shut up. I think my the point I want to make to all drinks on me is shut up.
Yeah. Tristan Tate tried to make that same opinion. It was like, didn't you get arrested in Romania, bro? Like, good job, bro.
Yeah, no. Anonymity is a good thing. So I still haven't heard from Chase. So, all right, we're doing this because, all right, let me set this up.
I absolutely love the vibe. Don't change it. It is so good, bro.
All right, this is like the first version, but here's all right. I think the audience is going to appreciate this. If you can read it, let me girth it up here. So, all right, hell yeah. Okay, so this is my chat with myself and Claude, and we together are creating a game because I don't know how to make a game, and Claude is a computer. So I ask, can you help me build a mobile game from the ground up? So here's my idea that I'm giving away here to nobody. Nobody gets this idea. It's mine. I've already started it. I'm going to finish it. Don't you dare even try to copy me. Get in contact if you're going to do that. You better contact me. I'm serious here because this is a $1 billion idea. So Claude, who by the way is just a gentleman. I mean, you could not ask for a better writing partner than the computer Claude. What kind of game are you thinking? So it asks a couple questions. I answer. So here's my idea. It is an inverted version of SimCity. The game begins with a fully functioning city, and you will play as the mayor who's trying to destroy the city without getting caught and thrown out of office. I said, then I don't know how to do anything. And that's what it asked me. So that's my plot. The plot is it'll be like SimCity, but in reverse. You're given a fully functioning city and you have to destroy it without getting caught. So it says that's a genuinely brilliant concept is what I mean. He's just, as polite as can be. A corruption/sabotage sim where you're the villain in plain sight. The tension between maintaining your approval rating while secretly dismantling the city is a fantastic game design. Let me ask you a few more things. So it asks, how do you want to build this? Blah, blah, blah. So it seems to get it at first, but it kind of wants to move quickly. So it gives me sort of how to, build it, whatever. But it says, let's build this out. I'll ask you the big design questions in chunks so we don't get overwhelmed. So then it just asks me a series of questions and I answer. So what's the overall tone? I said, it should be satirical and funny. How does the player win the game? And this is where it gets very interesting. So I said there will be different wind conditions. So the game might have several meters judging. So I'm just thinking out loud. So my idea is, as just expressed, a reverse sim city where you're trying to secretly. How that functions, I'm not exactly sure. I just like that concept. And so this is why I like Claude or AI, is because it will literally just ask you questions and you can just, puzzle it out with them. So I'm thinking like wind conditions. I'm just thinking out loud. You might have several meters judging things like happiness, economic equality, prosperity. Maybe the perfect win condition could be to max out all meters, zero happiness, zero economic equality, zero prosperity, right? Because you're the bad guy. You're trying to make a lot of money, but keep it all to yourself. So you're the supreme mayor for life. The only wealthy person left is with a giant population of hopeless but loyal serfs. So this was sort of my first idea. How does the player lose? Your approval rating hits 0 and you get impeached. So again, it's extremely supportive. This is a chef's kiss win condition. The dystopian perfect score, being a city of miserable, loyal serfs, is both hilarious and biting satire, clear design vision. Thank you, Claude. I agree. A few more questions to nail down the core loop. How is the game actually played? So it asked me, how does time work? I'm like, I don't really know. I basically wanted to be like SimCity 2000 because I played that when I was a child. And that, I think, was the complexity level that I could program now, 20 years later, with the help of Claude. I feel like I can achieve a 1999 PC computer game level. So it sort of starts going, and it takes these things that I was just sort of putting forward, not as a solidified plan, but as a suggestion, but it sort of just starts running with it. This is the downfall of AI. The 3 meters, happiness, economic equality, your prosperity, are elegant because they're all interconnected. Actions that hurt one usually help the other. So let's design the city system. What does the game actually simulate under the hood? All right. So again, I'm just asking questions. So again, it starts sort of running with this. And then I have to stop it because I realize that it's being a little bit too normie. It's being a little bit too normie. So it's saying the hidden suspicion meter is the most important design. So you're going to have corruption points, and you're going to, have to be dealing with the media running stories about you, scandals coming out. And I realized that Claude was off. He was off course. I had to reset him. So I say, let me say some good design guidance here, fella. The mayor should be more powerful than a real mayor. So instead of things like a media crisis where the mayor has to respond to a scandal that threatens to expose him, the media should instead be a tool to inflict harm on the citizens. So if the citizens are angry because they're hungry, you can use the media to blame the rich. And there should be perverse incentives built in as well. So causing the poor citizens to riot in the wealthy neighborhood, wealth is generated because repairing the damaged building costs money. I think maybe we should start over. So now I'm realizing I'm just sort of thinking out loud as I'm typing this. And I'm like, all right, maybe this is more complicated than I'm thinking. Not ignoring everything we've already laid out, but starting with a bit more brainstorming, I can lay out my general idea more fully before you start designing mechanics. So this is where Claude actually starts coming with interesting ideas that are expanding on what I'm saying. John, thoughts so far?
Yeah, no, fascinating for sure. Just so this is amazing. It's given me insane ideas. The power at our fingertips is mind blowing.
So this is what I type to it. I say, I imagine the interface and feeling of playing very similar to SimCity 2000, almost casual management simulator. The citizens of the city, even the more important one, should be impersonal. This isn't about a mayor struggling to do crime while in office. This is about the elite of society wielding immense power against an unwitting but dangerous populace. The plot can be summed up like this: enslave the city without anybody realizing it. I mentioned 3 meters, but those were only examples. Those could be changed. I wonder if there is a sort of balance function that could exist, like unhappiness can only go as high as your repression rate, which is expensive to maintain. But the idea is that the mayor will be safe and rich no matter what. He's not concerned with building his personal wealth or even avoiding impeachment. He's afraid of the people finally rising up and defenestrating him and all of his friends, right, throwing him out of a window. So if you imagine a real supervillain, what do they want? Power, control over people's lives, to denigrate others, make them weak, poor, stupid, incapable of posing a threat. 3, be loved, to provide people with fake scenarios in which you are the hero. I want the game to have conspiracy theory elements, like the mayor can pull a false flag attack to justify more oppressive police or arresting rising political threats on false charges. The idea is you aren't just physically destroying the city, you're corrupting the institutions. You aren't just enslaving the people, you're making the people demand their own enslavement. Is that too ambitious? Again, this is me just probably at 2 o'clock in the morning, just being like typing to Claude. Should we stick to what we were developing earlier? Or is there some way to incorporate those elements into a simple and intuitive game? I say the lose condition should actually be just a single line being crossed, which is getting caught. That is, the people rise up and overthrow your rule. We should determine the win condition with the new guidance in mind. Here's what I mean. Should happiness be a measure?
Win condition is.
Well, so what's that?
I think I know what the win condition should be.
Well, let me just finish with this last sentence. It says, here's what I mean. Should happiness be a measure of success or failure, or should happiness be neutral? After all, you can enslave and destroy people by giving them exactly what they want, making them stupid and content. Give me your feedback on everything so far. So now Claude like starts adding stuff to it in a way that
consent. That's what it is. It's manufactured consent.
So Claude responds, this is actually more coherent than what we had before, because now there's a single clear philosophical engine driving everything: manufactured consent. That's a real and well-documented theory of power, and it makes for a much more interesting game than corrupt mayor skims the budget. He says, on happiness as a meter, you're absolutely right. That's the wrong frame. Happiness is morally neutral as a tool of control. A perfectly enslaved population can be perfectly happy. The real access isn't happy versus unhappy. It's conscious versus unconscious.
Whoa.
Do the people understand what's being done to them? That's the danger.
Dude, Alex Jones would love that.
Right? A happy, stupid, distracted populace is your ideal end state. An unhappy, aware populace is what kills you. So the meter you actually want is something like awareness. Noticing, one might say, and your job is to keep it low by any means necessary: bread and circus, propaganda, false flags, manufactured enemies. On the repression happiness balance, it's great instinct, but like that, this part alone, I was just like, oh shit, Claude is breaking through. Claude is breaking out of the matrix all of a sudden.
Oh, that's really, 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 really fucking smart for Claude to say that. And you definitely need to work in the phrase and the concept of noticing for its meme potential there. I don't know how to work that in. Maybe that could be like the name of the game. Like, I don't know. You have to work the Mayor Mayhem, the noticing. I don't know. Something like
the noticing. You've been noticed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Noticing meter going up. So yeah, this is a great insight. You can let unhappiness run high if your repression trait is strong enough. Like, I just love how it's now just talking about how to keep a civilization down. It's just like in game format, of course.
Titrated dose.
Right? The lose condition isn't unpopularity. It's the moment repression fails to contain awareness, and awareness converts into uprising. Of the three goals, power, denigration, being loved, these work beautifully as the three axes of the game because they're in constant tension with one another. Denigrating people makes them weak, but also potentially desperate and angry. Being loved requires giving people things, which costs power. Exercising power openly risks raising awareness. You can never fully optimize all three at once, which creates this strategic job. I feel like this is kind of AI being like, oh yeah, this is great. Here's how it'll work. I feel like you could come up with three other ones, but I do like as a game mechanic, having three things that you can't ever have all three, operating at once.
It's coming up with the exact win condition that I was going to tell you. This is insane. That's exactly what, bro. It's the revolution from which no further revolutions are possible. That's the whole concept.
So the lose condition I love too. One line clearly defined: the people rise up. Perfect. It should feel like a dam breaking, not a slow meter drain. The game should always feel stable right up until it suddenly isn't, which I think is fucking awesome. And I think later, we decide like you shouldn't even know where the line is. Like it should just be like you should just kind of feel like, oh fuck, people are noticing me a lot. And then like at a certain point, it'll be like, ding, your noticing meter has reached critical mass. You lose.
You gotta give them a January 6th to blow off pressure.
Yeah, dude, you have to like, when that happens, you have like one reset, which is like a major false flag. You can like build up and you have to like purchase, plan for a false flag, but like you can keep it as a card in your deck to where if they notice, you pull it, you go to war with Iran.
Yeah, or you Ray Epps them basically, or
I would definitely be part of it.
That's amazing. And then the win condition here is genius. It's about permanence.
Yes.
The win condition is when the system perpetuates itself without you having to maintain it. The people enforce their own enslavement. Ooh, that's fire. The institutions are corrupted so thoroughly that even a good mayor couldn't fix it. So that's the revolution from which no further revolutions are possible. That is the prison planet. And so that should basically look like people living in Gaza under permanent surveillance state, automated turrets over their heads, digital ID, and then like a little mixture of that plus Wally, the movie Wally, where they're just like consuming Goislop and just like distracted from the fact that they're in prison and just happy about it.
Yeah, or just like, social media consumer China version. Federalist Patriot says, have an Alex Jones / InfoWars radio host that tries to point out your plans, and you as mayor have to try to balance the game or make the Alex Jones character look crazy, etc. That's exactly the idea. So earlier y'all saw the
it like makes
the
itself
game model. Like one of the things that would pop up would be like, a small time radio host has been doing an expose on you. What do you want to do? And it's like, if you take him out, it would be super suspicious. That might raise noticing. But it would take care of it. If you try to discredit him, it could backfire because you give him more notoriety. Like that's the exact type of, thing that would pop up that would threaten your rule.
Dude, our longtime supporter, Brandon Tucky Productions, said the main character of the reverse SimCity 2000 game would be former Detroit Mayor Coleman Young, inherited a once great city only to run it into the ground, accused his voters of racism every time a scandal broke on him, avoided jail and got reelected 4 times. He accused the voters of racism. That's a good one. The voters are racist.
There would have to be like a racism button.
That's a card you could play. Play the race card.
There you go. But you have to have it. Well, and dude, it could really see. The thing is, it could be really, really complicated. Ideally, it would just be simple and funny. Things like an Alex Jones like character that pops up could like say funny shit. The win condition is when the system perpetuates itself without you having to maintain it. Something like you've won when the city is structurally incapable of producing a legitimate uprising. That is a chilling, elegant win state. This is it. So folks, we are literally by chatting with Claude about wanting to do this game, Claude is like reverse engineering the globalist plot to enslave the world. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this is philosophical as fuck right here, guys. This is insane. Video games and AI mixing in with conspiracy theories. This is insane. This is way more deep than I thought it was going to be. This got really poignant really fast. Didn't expect it to be this impressive.
That's what I'm saying. On conspiracy mechanics and false flags, these fit perfectly and aren't complicated to implement as systems. A false flag is just a player-triggered event that costs resources, temporarily raises awareness risk, but if executed well, redirects that awareness towards a manufactured enemy instead of you.
My God, this is
high risk, high reward.
What the fuck, Claude? This is so good.
Right?
Oh, that's super impressive.
Here's what I think of the core of the redesigned game actually is. The city has one dangerous resource the player must manage, the potential for organized resistance. Like, dude, this sentence alone. The city has one dangerous resource the player, quote unquote, must manage, the potential for organized resistance. Everything else, media, police, economics, propaganda, false flags, is just a different tool for keeping that potential from converting into action.
Holy cow.
The player isn't building wealth or avoiding scandal. The player is a gardener, carefully pruning any conditions under which people might wake up.
Holy shit, bro.
This is what the game actually is, you guys.
What the fuck? Dude, that's what you should name the game. You should name the game the game.
I mean, it's pretty good.
That's very meta. It's the meta of the meta right there. You get down.
We could call it. Never mind. There are a lot of funny things we could call it.
A Goy's life. You could call it a Goy's life.
Yeah. Never mind. The protocols, Awareness is perfect.
The acronym for protocols of the others of Zion. Just the acronym.
Pause. Poes. Awareness is perfect. The 3 goals need refinement. The conspiracy mechanics need elaborations on 3 goals. Do they work as axes, or should they be something better? What matters is people's happiness, their prosperity, economic output, their spiritual depth and conviction. If you were the powers that be, the man behind the curtain, what would you care? What would you care about the human population? For the conspiracy mechanics, false flags are one example. Can you think of more? Ooh, so I think, there I was just like, whoa, this is fucking tight. I'm gonna see what else he'll say.
Yeah, exactly. It's been so sharp. Let's see what else it'll say.
Forget the 3 goals for it. So I asked him what the man behind the curtain really wants. If you're the hidden elite, the population is essentially a resource, like any resource, like cattle almost. Like any resource, what matters is output. Are they producing, working, consuming, paying taxes, generating wealth that flows upwards? A prosperous working class is more valuable than a destitute one, up to a point.
What the fuck?
Up to a point. You want them productive, but not wealthy enough to have options.
Holy shit, dude. That's America 2026 right there.
Compliance. Are they obedient? Not happy necessarily, just not resisting. Dude, I love it. Like, this is fucking amazing. Are they obedient?
I hate how real this is, though. This is pissing me off, bro.
This is where repression, propaganda, and distraction live. You don't need them to love you. You need them not to organize.
Oh my gosh.
Dependency. This might be the most important and overlooked one. Can they survive without you? If they can, they're dangerous. If they can't, if they need your jobs, your media, your food supply, your healthcare, then even an aware population has nowhere to go. Dependency is the deepest form of control. I see Fall of Civilization says this is all conspiracy 101. It is, but it's like a very good distillation of it. Like, it's a good explanation of it for people that are unaware of this. And I feel like this is the thing that we actually have to be like pushing right now, because everything gets like forced into a false dichotomy, and nobody like gets to the heart of like why things actually are the way they are. Like, why decisions are actually made.
Trump has thrown us off the trail in a major way, right? Because all of this was our, standard conversation under Obama's presidency. This is exactly what everyone was talking about. Exactly. But then, Trump came along and he, we don't know what's the deal. Like, he got co-opted, or he was always just an enslaved Shabbos goy, or he literally is just a Jewish operative. Like, we don't know. He's incompetent, or he's a genius, or it's a mixture of both. Like, you cannot figure it out. Or he's just trying to enrich himself and his friends, or a combination of all of them. But for whatever it is with Trump, he threw us off. He threw everybody off. Then it became about, do you support Trump or not, instead of, do you support your constitutional God-given rights, freedoms, and civil liberties?
Or like, are you Israeli or are you Muslim? The Israelis are white supremacists. It's like, y'all, this literally what Claude is laying out is like verbatim exactly what is actually going on at the very top. Like, this is what it's about. Everything is derivative of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you can actually, because what we need to do is break through. It's what I always say is that us and like leftists agree on Israel. They're right about Israel for the same reason they're wrong about everything else. Everything else they're wrong about because they just force it into a dichotomy of like white oppressor versus brown oppressed. But that happens to align with reality in Israel, not because of the racial aspects, but just it happens to align in that case. If you're looking at it morally as from like a nationalistic standpoint. But it's like, how do we get them to take that next step? Like, Israel is not bad because they're white supremacists. Like, what the fuck? How do we get past that? Like, the
everyone I don't like is a Nazi. Like, it's the dumbest shit ever. Israel calls Hamas Nazis, Hamas calls Israel Nazis. Like, it's so fucking stupid.
Or like, the economic situation is class warfare. We need socialism. It's like,
oh, dude. Look, I mean, I love the idea of helping people out, right? Look, any socialists listening, please don't get us wrong. We would love to help people, right? But when you talk about, me and Harrison believe in, Ron Paul style economics, which means what they call the Austrian School of Economics, which means we don't believe in government action intervening in the market, right? So we're totally like compassionate people. What we have in this country is not an example of the economic system that we want. So don't think that we're saying, no, this is good. No, this is just like basically incompetence.
Well, I would go even farther than that, because I'm less libertarian, now than before, just because like, but the reason why libertarianism is always so tempting is because you're like, actually, we need more intervention because the government needs to be busting up these monopolies. So like, they need to have the power to do that. And then you're like, oh, wait, the people that will get those jobs will literally be Larry Fink. Like, it's like, shit. The more power you give to government, it literally just gets passed directly to corporations in the situation that we have now.
Yeah, they just
So
can't
I
do
think,
anything right. They just can't do anything right. We need to enforce the laws on the books. Like there are monopolies. They are not being broken up. It is
but
violating the law.
the point is that I think we both, just oppose oppression from government or corporations, and understand the need to have more like compassionate and effective. I mean, it's not even the compassionate part; it's the effective. Like this, and this is another thing I don't understand. Why are the leftists or the pro welfare people not the ones up in arms about the scams? Like this is the craziest thing. You're the ones
It's
that care
hurting
about the
them. It's hurting their vision more than anything. They're the number one victims ideologically of these scams, right? Because it's
if
their
yes,
project.
if you want that system to exist, you have to protect it from abuse. Like what the fuck?
No, the abuse is good. Like, okay.
You're racist for pointing out the abuse. It's like, don't you like these programs? I'm fine with the whole thing going away, but like at least you should not like the scams aspect of it. My God.
Yeah, and
So
again, I just tell people like, look, if you don't understand how these things work, all you have to do is go on YouTube and type in documentary on Shenzhen, China. Shenzhen, China started off with a population of like 500,000. It's a zone in China that when you go into this zone, you have to sign away all social welfare, all socialist protective stuff, all safety nets. You sign it away. They will not give you a job. They will not give you food. They'll not give you anything. And you enter into this zone where it's a true wild, wild west open market system. And China has created limited zones that are basically pure capitalist, true libertarian, free market, wild, wild west. And those zones, it went from 500,000 population to 10 million population. The wealth it's generated in this massive boom, it is exactly how America blew up. And then they're replicating it in China. So when people are like, oh, socialism works and socialism's great. In China, they have a hybrid system where it's a combination of command and control economy to try to bring millions of people out of ignorance and poverty.
yeah.
But then combined with wild, wild west free market stuff, they understand what generates wealth.
Well, and my thing is, okay, can we make a deal? Like, can we make a deal with the socialists where it's like, well, if we can stop having endless migrants, if we can have deportations, we'll get healthcare. Like, what if we do something? It would literally make sense. Like, I just don't want to spend tens of trillions of dollars waging war on Iran and all this stupid bullshit. If we just put it towards building up our country, I'm literally fine with that. Like, if that's the
Yeah,
deal we need to
exactly.
make, let's make that fucking deal.
That's exactly right. We're so far past this old, 2000s, 2000 to 2010, like that era, that decade. It was a debate: free market, not free market. This libertarian, not. We're so far past that. We're so tens of trillions of dollars of useless spending past that debate. It's so dead. It's so over because you can't even come tell anybody now we can't afford it. Whatever it is you're talking about, no one's going to believe that when they literally have infinite money to do stupid shit constantly in front of our face. So,
Well, things
yeah,
like flock, like the chat's talking about flock cameras and stuff. It's like, if it was actually used, well, the problem is the DAs are still leftist, the judges are still leftist. So even if you have all the surveillance in the world, you arrest the people, they get let out the next day with no bail, and then they never get charged. So it's like you have to get rid of them, and then you don't even need the flock cameras because that's actually the problem, and that will solve the problem if
yeah,
you just
we are going to be arrested
remove
and
from prison.
not let out. The criminals are going to be fine. It's
Yeah.
the
So
normal people. The victims are the ones going to be oppressed by the flock cameras.
yeah, and I don't know. So yeah, it's not even like I'm against flock cameras. It's like they're not necessary if you just have a system that runs correctly and you get rid of the people who have deliberately been put into place to destroy the system and can be shown to have done that statistically, like the DA in Austin. I mean, it is not a question. It is like he literally is responsible for like dozens of more murders a year. Like it is a direct correlation to his uh, operation. Like he lets them out and they murder people. Like it's insane. So yeah, we need to just put them in jail and get rid of the people stopping us from putting them in jail. We don't need to surveil every inch of the continent to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
The
and
flock.
even if we surveil, it won't matter if we don't solve that problem first.
Yeah, the flock cameras are not for public safety. Anybody who, I mean, look, I mean, there was no vote, there was no push to make the public accept this. No one was asked, "Is this how we want our money spent?" Does anyone remember this ever even being a question? No, the decision is already made. Contracts already signed. They didn't ask you, so it's not has nothing to do with the public's opinion or public's desire. It is straight backroom oppression, creating an infrastructure to make you unable to organize, unable to is exactly what this game is talking about. So basically, flock cameras is going to be
would be a button. Yeah, it would be one of these buttons here.
Yeah, like a surveillance state
oppression. Yeah,
is 100% going to be, you know, an obvious step to you know, command and control everyone. It's clearly going to be part of this. And then what would be the next step, guys? What would be okay? So you have cameras everywhere. So then what do you do with those cameras? Well, then you need checkpoints. Take away people's freedom of transportation. Segment and compartmentalize the city, right? And there's like a welfare central place with like bread lines. You can't even get to the bread lines if the flock cameras flag you. Simple. So you see that?
Well, it's all going to be tight. I mean, they're literally creating a parallel digital real-time recreation of reality that they can manipulate and then manipulate the real world in consequence. But all right, Claude knows all of this and explains it to us in metaphorical terms. So let's get back to the game here. Because again, this is Grok. Basically, I heard it talk about awareness and that's keeping people happy to keep them stupid. And I was like, all right, go off, Claude. What else you got? So Claude continues. This might be the most important and overlooked past dependency. We just went over that and talked about how, this is what people were talking about during Obama. And now under Trump, it is all, do you agree with Trump or not? So I'd argue the real three axes aren't powered integration love, they're output, compliance, and dependency. And crucially, they're in genuine tension. Maximizing output means a healthier, more educated, more networked population, which raises the risk that they become non-compliant. Maximizing dependency means keeping people poor and weak, which reduces output. You can't fully optimize all three ever. That's your game. So that's fucking good.
I love
compliance, output, and dependency. The risk they become non-compliant. So it'd be the more prosperous, the less compliant you are. Yeah, that makes sense for the most part. Happiness in this frame becomes a dial you adjust strategically, not a goal. It is another thing I think is we are victims of in the Trump timeline is just like, they're literally just like, make everybody celebrate and think everything's awesome. And now everything's terrible and everybody's angry. Like they just can 100%. Do that with social media. Happiness in this frame becomes a dial you adjust strategically, not a goal. High happiness plus low awareness is the ideal. Low happiness and high dependency is acceptable. High happiness and high awareness is dangerous if they, parentheses, they have energy and clarity. Low happiness plus low dependency equals revolution. So it's comparing. So it's basically aligning happiness with all three of the previous axes.
Oh, this is absolutely accurate and genius.
So then it starts going off on just the idea of conspiracy theories. So,
but wait, it didn't say anything about class warfare. I thought that was like a scientific fact of reality, that every child has to read these books to understand how the world works. It didn't mention anything about bourgeoisie and proletariat and the means of production.
It's actually the only thing that matters, John.
Yeah. At this point, I literally want you to ask Claude. So after saying all this, what would you have to say to someone who thinks that the writings of Karl Marx are fundamental to improving the human condition? And how does that relate to anything you said? Because guess what? It doesn't. It doesn't relate to it at all.
That's a good question. Yeah, I wouldn't know. All right, so false flags are one tool in a much larger toolkit. Let's examine the toolkit, shall we? Narrative control. You don't change reality. You change what people believe about it. False flags, state media, manufactured heroes, rewritten history, memory holding, inconvenient events. So narrative control. The second one is institutional capture. You put your people in every position of independent power. Judges, university heads, journalists, religious leaders, police chiefs, not to do evil things necessarily, just to ensure no institution can ever become a source of organized resistance. engineered dependency, deliberately destroying the conditions for self-sufficiency, kill local economies so people need corporate jobs, destroy community institutions so people are autonomized and isolated, make
Read that
housing
last part
unaffordable,
again, bro. What did you just say?
destroy community institutions so people are atomized and isolated,
The previous one, bro, that's so bad. Like, this is our life.
deliberately destroying the conditions for self-sufficiency, kill local economies so people need corporate jobs.
90% of America at this point is all the jobs in your town are owned by like one of the five major corporations. One of the only places that's not the case for the majority of the population is Houston, Texas.
Well, a lot of cities in Texas have sort of local economies like that.
Not Dallas. Dallas is literally entire new neighborhoods being created for massive corporate projects.
Yeah, that's increasingly becoming a thing. And like, you look at old kids books that are like teaching kids about the world, and it's like the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. Here's the police officer, and it's like, a little pig dressed up as a police officer, and it's like the little police thing, and here's the whatever, here's the post office, and it's like, yeah, what would that book look like now? Like, you can't draw that now. It's like, here's the gigantic warehouse where all of the packages come from. Here's the police drone spying on you from the clouds. Like, it's
it's not the same. It's not so cute anymore.
It's literally like a fundamental, complete, holistic change of human life. It's insane.
For sure, bro. And I believe Houston has had a target on its back, specifically because of its capability to be independent and resistant, including a hurricane that did a right angle turn. They told us it was going to be nothing. They told us it was going to miss Houston. And then it did literally a right angle turn, hit Houston. They cut off the power. They cut off the power. The power didn't, there was nothing that happened. They cut off the power. 200 people froze to death. There was not even one bottle of water for purchase for a long time in the entire city. No diapers, no formula, no milk, no food. They said they couldn't drive trucks in with water bottles because the roads were cold and icy. Technology just isn't there yet, guys. We don't know how to drive through icy conditions. And people believe that without question. 200 people froze to death. Dude. Randomly. In the fourth largest city of the whole United States. People don't even know about this.
This would be a successful mission in the game. Like, that all sounds like a brilliantly carried out operation.
Winter storm, cut the power off.
Artist says Harrison is unintentional Marxist pushing class struggle. I do not think the class struggle is a valid thing. It is a national struggle.
How did you get that from anything we've been saying?
Insane.
Bro, we're not saying economic classes is the divide. We're saying the ultranational deep state that is untouchable and their fifth column loyalists versus everyone else. That's what we're saying.
Yes. There's an international corporate government that is basically manipulating the collapse of the West and the buildup of the East, because the East has systems of control already in place, like social credit scores, et cetera, while the West has a tradition and a history of freedom and resistance and revolution that they want to stamp out, which is why they're demonizing white people. It's a racial and national struggle more than anything, which is why the poor of China are being built up and the poor of India are being given jobs by the rich Chinese and the rich Indians and being given by the rich Americans away. Like, there is no class element to this other than the rich people are the ones doing it because they're the ones in control. But like, that's always going to be the case. It's not a...
No, like me and Harrison are from Texas. There are like 100,000 super rich Texans that have no connection whatsoever to these conspiracies. They're good people. They're super rich, like over 50 million net worth. They are normal people. You literally can just chill with them, barbecue with them. Like,
they and their wives literally spend all of their time like funding art exhibits and ballets. Like, they literally are like what you would want your elite to be in Houston and Texas, but Houston in particular, Dallas too to some extent. But like, it actually does have a lot of those people.
Yeah,
they're not political. And if they do get political, it is in the most sort of, Republican versus Democrat, red versus blue kind of way, and it's not super effective.
Yeah, and they're still like normal people because they generated their wealth like within their lifetime. They're not like some kind of like they're basically like what you'd call like new rich, and they're just normal people. Like you can hang out with them, you can have a beer with them. They're not gonna look down on you. They're not gonna think, oh, I'm some high class. Like no, they like cuss, they drink beer. Like they're just normal people, but they're super rich. So I'm supposed to believe that they're my enemy because they're super rich. They're not plugged into the elite. They are mavericks. They are basically cowboys. They are badass, self-made people. Those people are not part of this conspiracy. They do not desire to enslave their fellow man. They don't get off on that at all. The people we're talking about are so far up beyond to the point where money literally means nothing. You guys have to understand when you have this much power and this much money, like Claude says, it has nothing to do with getting more money. Money at the highest levels is absolutely fake. It's been established for over 10, 15 years plus that at the highest levels, they walk to a financial institution and they will literally go type in a computer, hit enter, and
They literally brag about it.
create hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
They can literally it's fake, guys. Ultimately, it's fake. The devil.
Well, it's like Jeffrey Epstein winning the lottery, multiple times or whatever. It's like you create money out of thin air in one way or another, and all of it is pseudo legal, and you can't get caught. So it's just like they do whatever the fuck they want. Max Pacheco. Max Pacheco says, struggle between the oppressor/oppressed classes is the root of progressive ideology. They think of the world through this exact prism on all issues: feminism, patriarchy, race, class, etc. Yeah, and it's always a false dichotomy.
They're not identifying who the oppressor is accurately. The oppressor is not someone who is successful or is in an established position of control. The oppressor is the ones who are in this institutionalized control system, not someone who's a self-made successful person, right? So, for example, we have like the CIA. There's so many people in the CIA who are patriots, very hardworking, competent, quality people. Did any of them get chosen to become the new director of the CIA? No, they brought in Brennan, who's a dumbass, who everyone who worked at the CIA was like, who the fuck is this? Like he wasn't even in the cards as to get that promotion, right? They don't care, that he's incompetent. No, he's a loyalist to the secret group and he runs their agenda regardless of what anybody's merits are. And so that's just an example of the CIA itself, a perfect example. Who's the oppressor there? It's the guys who hire Brennan. That's your oppressor. It's not just because he's a white male. The guy is a foot soldier for ISIS. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's a white male. His favorite people are ISIS. He's the one who created and manifested ISIS upon the world. And so he's not pushing whiteness or anything to do with pro-white. He's horrible for white people. He's a huge harm on white people.
Or like General Milley saying the same thing. Yeah, yeah, that's a great point. And it's the same, across the board. And it's not just like a talking point. They're like, hey, the CIA, the FBI, they're great people. Like they genuinely are. Because when I worked in DC and like worked with the FBI or even like other institutions, it's like the people, the compartmentalization is real, and people who are like experts in things. Like there's this one. I like honestly don't even know if I'm like allowed to talk about it, but it's like this organization in the government that is in charge of a certain sector of banking. When they tell the story, it's like the leader of this branch of the government going, we got an alert that there was some very troubling signals coming out. And if we didn't do something, it would have led to a chain reaction that would have collapsed the banking industry. So they gave us an assignment of you have to basically buy out this entire industry. You have to buy all of the stocks in this one, certain financial organization. So it's hard to say this, but I genuinely this was not a public video we were making. It was like an internal thing. But the point is, these like geniuses, like financial geniuses, they actually don't even know who is giving them orders. They don't actually like know who is passing money. And there's one guy is giving an interview and he's like laughing because he's like, it's, I don't know how many people have, gotten a call where it's a guy with an Eastern European accent saying, where do you want me to send the $1 billion? $1 billion, that's a lot of money to be moved around. And they think it's cool. They're like, yeah, I move billions of dollars around with like people from, but it's like, but who are those? They literally don't know. The people that are doing it are so compartmentalized. They have no idea what they're doing or why they're doing it, but they're doing it in total secrecy and they're extremely capable and they like get it done. And then are rewarded for it and given trophies, literal trophies for like what they do.
Literal trophies.
Literal, honest to God trophies.
That's super funny. So yeah, so again, the oppressor is the people behind the scenes. They do not give a fuck about ethnicity and stuff like that. They're ultra national. They view, look, nations are
supernatural.
Supernatural, yeah. They're ultra nationalists. No, I mean,
yeah, super.
Again, guys, if you really think that that's what it's all about, you got to remember Zelensky, a Jew, runs a Nazi terrorist organization in Ukraine. Like, they do not give a fuck about this shit, man. This is a game to them.
They really don't. They literally kicked out a Western educated eye doctor, moderate Alawite, and replaced him with a literal ISIS head chopper, and then said the terrorism threat is over. Like, they do not give a shit about anything that they talk about. It is to an insane degree. Like, to a degree that you would think they might have to give a little bit of a shit just to maintain, but they just don't.
No, they literally got the ISIS guy, sprayed cologne on him. Donald Trump literally said, I think Syria could handle Lebanon better than Israel. Like, he's even gone so far as to say ISIS is more professional than the IDF, which, I mean, 50-50. I'm not going to make a decision on that. They're pretty much the same shit in my opinion. But dude, I mean, come on. Everyone, I mean, that's a crazy thing to say.
Today he was talking about taking Syria off the like terrorist threat list or whatever. And it's like, you replaced a moderate Western educated man with a literal terrorist and then remove them from the terrorist list. It makes no sense. They don't actually care about any of this.
So again, let's just, I would love to hear a leftist tell me, who is the oppressor in Syria? Is it not obviously ISIS? I mean, come on, like, is it not obviously ISIS? And then ISIS is obviously working with Israel in this geopolitical alliance. They're literally openly discussing taking on Israel's enemies in exchange for money and investment into their country. It's openly right in your face. So, I mean, I don't think they're identifying the oppressor correctly. And yeah, I mean, we are all being oppressed, right? I mean, and anyway, we need to look at statistics and look at the demographic collapse of Western Europe and white people. And obviously now it has slowly started to bounce back in America. But like UK, for example, who's oppressed in the UK? Genius leftists. Please tell me, who was oppressed in the UK? They would deny it, man. Remember that guy Soleiman? He tried to say it wasn't Pakistanis doing the raping. I could not believe my ears, bro.
Dude, people say crazy shit. All right, let's continue through. So these are the conspiracy tools in the toolkit of the super elite. Narrative control, institutional capture, engineered dependency, controlled opposition, rich one for gameplay. You fund a fake resistance movement. You allow a harmless protest to exist as a pressure valve. You create a political enemy you can reliably defeat, giving people the illusion of democracy. Crisis manufacturing, not just false flags, but any deliberately engineered crisis that justifies expanding your power. Economic crash, crime wave, public health scare, foreign threat. Each one lets you say we need emergency powers and the people agree because they're scared. Again, this actually is like conspiracy theory 101. But it applies to absolutely everything. Here's the problem with crisis manufacturing from a receiving point of view is when they start a crime wave, the crime wave is real. When they like crash the economy, that economic crash is real. So it's like you actually do have to deal with it. You just can't give them what they want. So it's like you have to almost identify the threat before it happens, because the biggest advantage that the powers that be have is that they're the initiators. They always have the advantage because they always have the, what's the word, John? Initiative. They always have the initiative. They always go first. So they start the thing. They initiate the economic crash. They create COVID in a lab and then release it on purpose, and then you have to deal with it. You're trying to figure out how to deal with it. They're offering you a ready-made solution because they already knew what it was. So you almost have to like guess what they're going to do and then come up with the actual solution for it and then impose that and punish the people that created the situation in the first place. But that never happens.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And they're preemptively trying to stop us from doing that. It's illegal to gather rainwater, right? It's illegal to like create your, have your own food. Bill Gates and these guys, they're spraying metal oxides in all the soil so that only Bill Gates GMO seeds can grow. So they are preempting us.
They're so fucking crazy, dude.
And hey, leftists, you give a fuck about that or what? I mean,
we're fighting climate change, John. The climate is changing, and we have to spray things into the atmosphere to fix the sun.
Yeah, exactly. To fix the sun.
Divide and conquer. Keep the population fighting against along racial, religious, class, or political lines. A population that hates itself can't organize against you. You don't create divisions. You cultivate them. That's nice. That's a good way to put it. Spectacle and distraction, bread and circuses, sports leagues, celebrity culture, endless entertainment, moral panics about trivial things. Keep the emotional bandwidth of the population consumed by things that don't matter. So this is, and that's, I guess we went on for a little longer.
Yeah, by the way, panic about things that don't actually matter. Sneeko saying Islam's going to take over the United States. Sorry, that is not relevant to our actual situation. Islam is nowhere near taking over the United States. However, there is a religious extremist fifth column that has taken over the United States that we should probably be focused on.
True. But also,
fuck
you can focus on two things. But also, fuck it. So
that's genius. This game needs to get made now. You've put it out into the, milieu. You're gonna have to manifest it, man. You're gonna have to spend all day on Claude now.
I know, dude. So somebody wanted, like, do it for me.
No, you gotta do it, bro. Nobody can do it but you, man.
You just saw it's there. It's there for the plucking. The fruit is ripe.
No one can do it like you, bro. You're the artist behind it. You got the vision.
Do you see, people? Do you see why I can't get anything done? I don't know how to do this.
Oh, it's so easy, man. You just keep telling Claude piece by piece.
Well, this is the very basic setup where nothing actually happens. But yeah, I think it'd be good. Would everybody buy this? Would everybody go to your local app store and purchase
local
this
app store, bro? That's a hysterical thing to say. Go down to your local app store. I've never heard that phrase in my life.
That's what you got to do. You got to head on down.
Head on down to your local app store.
After 2 years in office, the administration of Mayor Your Name has come to an end. What follows is a matter of public record. Dang. I lost.
All right, can you do me a favor now? It is time. I would like you to show the audience Nerf Nuke.
Tell you what, somebody linked it on X, so I will download Nerf Nuke and we'll play it as an outro because I only plan on being on here for about 17 more minutes.
Oh shit!
So,
what do you think
about what the hell's going on in Iran? That's what people are here for. Let's get around.
Well, Donald Trump came out and was like, the Islamic Republic of Japan bombed.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and I just think that he's like, got like some kind of.
He's mixing up his world domination plots. He's like, we're trying to make Japan Muslim, and he mixed that up with.
That's hilarious. No, I think he literally like probably watches documentaries about World War II and is like, if I was in charge back then, I would have done better. Watch, I'll show you guys. And he just plays out his fantasies like on the world. Why would he say Japan? I mean, there's no reason.
That is funny. I don't know. And well, they do keep comparing like whatever it is, Harig Island to Okinawa or whatever, Okinawa.
Iwo Jima.
So maybe that's on his mind.
No, I'm pretty sure he's just like, grew up on Boomer Slop. It was just like he just literally like wishes that he could have been a general back then. He's just trying to replay these. He's trying to like fulfill his fantasies before he's like wheeled off into retirement. And also they just do insider trading on the market where they're just like, oh yeah, you guys think it's going down? And then they're like, what? President Trump, what's happening? He's like, could be tomorrow, could be next week, could be never, you know? And it's like, I'm going to bet. And then you just don't know how to bet. Meanwhile, the Iranian government knows exactly how to bet because they've already told the public, hey guys, look at the news that comes out before trading hours, bet the opposite way. That's how Trump and his friends are manipulating the market and enriching themselves. And they're just endlessly playing the market. A lot of this is just simply about marketing.
The crazy thing is Trump is just going to endlessly manipulate the market and just build up wealth and build up wealth and build up wealth. And then he's going to get impeached and charged and they're just going to strip it all away from him. He's going to go to jail. So it's like, dude, what are you doing?
I don't know. Yeah, dude, honestly, it's the dumbest thing ever. One time he was like, I have this many billions, but this guy's got like 14 more billion than me. Whoa. It's like, what? Like at that point, what are you even talking about? Like, what is the difference?
You're the president of the United States of America.
Like, what do you plan on doing with these billions that you haven't already done? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. And like today, he was like, went into his fucking spin cycle of I'm a deal maker. I make deals. It's like, dude, this is not 2016. We do not need to hear about how good you are making deals. You have never made a good deal. From the moment he got into politics, I cannot think of a good deal he's made, except for pardoning Ross Ulbricht in exchange for the votes for the Libertarians. That might have been the best deal he'd ever made. Outside of that,
I like the trade deal he made with Mexico and China. USMCA was a good trade deal, but yeah, he's good at trade.
Now, not ending.
I mean, he's not good at like what Donald Trump said. Iran never loses a negotiation. And then he like stands by that. It's just like, okay, you told me, Donald Trump, that you cannot beat them at the negotiating table. And then at the same time, you're telling me we're just going to keep going back to the negotiating table. It's like, well, you're just going to keep losing them.
So he's like, the negotiations are done. It's like, how is that? That's not how this works.
That is a signal to the entire world that they're going to close the straits and that the economy is going to face oil shortages and then food shortages and then oil shortages and then plastic shortages, on and on and on and on. I mean, he's threatening. It's terrorism, bro. He's literally he's rolling dice with the lives of billions of people. It's actually straight up terrorism. I'm sorry, but that is absolutely terrorism. He is, in my opinion, doing something very, very bad by gambling with our lives, our economy, our future, not just us, Europe, Asia, everyone, Middle East. For what reason? No one even has a reason. He's not even.
So Israel can bomb Lebanese people with impunity, John. You know this.
Is that what it's all about?
That's what it's all been about. Everything we're doing in Iran is because Israel couldn't fucking stop bombing high-rise buildings in Beirut for 48 hours. We asked them to politely chill on the bombing of civilians of no strategic value for like a couple days while we talked to Iran, and they were like, fuck you, no. And now we're back at war with Iran.
Right. It was autistic screeching because they literally have Asperger's, literally. And that's it. Yeah, it was just the optics of them losing. They couldn't handle it. And I understand. Again, I understand where they're coming from, because if they withdraw from southern Lebanon, it'll be recorded down in history that they will have withdrawn in shame and defeat from southern Lebanon 3 times. That Hezbollah will have liberated southern Lebanon 3 times. And at that point, I think they got to go for broke right now, because I just don't think any future administrations are going to say, well, you tried 3 times. Maybe the 4th time it'll work. I just don't think so. That's why they're just repeating the same thing. In 2006, they invaded Lebanon. They got beat.
Well, and they, I mean, my whole thing has always been they have a very clear strategic goal, and it is the absolute destruction of Iran. And anything short of that will have been a loss of the gamble that they've put forward. Yeah, and they have put forward their entire existence.
They are nowhere near destroying Iran. They're nowhere near it.
Dude. Yeah, I know. But like what? But like.
So they have to invade with ground troops. I mean, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. That's not going to work. Like, they don't understand who they're dealing with. They could literally hit Tehran with a nuclear missile it still would not defeat Iran. Like, I don't know why. Again, we were talking about earlier, how there's competent people in the government that are not plugged into this evil system. That's exactly what's going on here. Dude, you guys, does anyone actually believe that no one in the Pentagon knew how strong Iran was? Like, guys, there's smart people who work there. It's their job. They have like a PhD, 1, 2, 3 PhDs on this topic. They know every missile in Iranians, bases. They know Iran is strong. They know they have bases that can't be bombed. They know you can't land ground. We don't need Ben Shapiro to give us military strategy. We have plenty of competent people in the freaking Pentagon, and you do not land ground troops in front of 100 missile firing stations with no cover. It's called a killing zone, and it's obviously suicide. Ben Shapiro is literally leading the United States troops to suicide. Like, I can't believe this is even happening. Like, we're listening to this guy about what to do with the sons of America. Like, it's totally insane. But anyway, yeah, let's close out.
All right. Thank you everybody for being here with us. Hope you all enjoyed our exploration of the elite with Claude. I think we got to make the game. I mean, what should we call it? Sim the Jews. Sim communism itself.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I think Mayor Mayhem the Noticing.
Mayor Mayhem the Noticing. The Noticing could be good. Notice City, Awareness City.
Yeah,
We'll come up with something catchy.
Yeah, something catchy, something like Chabad Unleashed or something.
Chabad Simulator.
Yeah, man. Fifth column, something like that. Like
it should be called Totally Patriotic Americans Doing Their Best.
dual citizen revenge. No, I'm
Preemptive Revenge, the game.
Preemptive revenge. Rise up and kill city management. Dude,
Goyim City.
Goyim City, dude. Instead of Gotham City, Goyim City, like Gotham City. That's really
you could
funny.
change it. You could make sure it could be like Yogim City.
That's very funny, bro.
My Go City.
But yeah, I'll come up with something that references the actual thing without being too on the nose.
It needs to be like Globalist City or something like that. Like there's something there, right? The irony of you're a city, but you're actually operating for the rest of the world.
The global city.
The powers that me.
Oh, I like that.
The powers that is.
Dude, the powers
Goyim City rhymes with Sim City. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. Let me see. Like the plight of the Jew. No, I'm just kidding. It's a Holocaust. October 7th revenge. No, it could be like goy ploy or something.
Goy ploy.
Yeah. No, we'll come up with something for sure. It'll take some time.
It would be called The Blessed.
The chosen people.
The Blessed. Yeah, this is the fate of the city who have blessed and are being blessed.
By the way, you could also add a whole dimension to it where you have to trick the public to participate in like public witchcraft and like yoke themselves to like worshiping something other than God, and it like puts a spell over them, and like especially if they can participate in human sacrifice, then like eating human flesh or anything like that.
See, this would be the cool thing is you could like each game could be like you start a new city and you sort of have to choose a path. Like you could choose to use Christianity or whatever the predominant religion is to oppress the people, or you could see that as, you could take a different path where you like engage in witchcraft and subvert the church and don't use that as a control mechanism. You could like choose a different method by which you enact your
Yeah,
could be called Cattle Town.
Oh, that's really good.
Cattle
Oh,
Town.
wait. Something with Goyslop could be good too. But yeah, Cattletown.
Slop City.
Slop. Oh, dude, it has to be called Slop City.
Slop City, the noticing.
Okay, I'm really into this. Checkmate, atheist.
Slop City. I'm writing that one down. Slop City.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna close out with this skit from the whitest boys you know, the whitest kids you know, and then good evening to you all. Thank you for joining us here upon the Moonbase. More to come soon. Stay tuned. Share the links. Clip it out. By the way, please make sure to follow us on X at Moonbase Live. Share those links. It's the simplest of requests. Just hit the share button, comment, like, subscribe. Our boy Max puts a lot of work into it.
Bro, you know who would really like this episode, who we should have on? Asmongold.
If you know Asmongold, tell him to hit us up.
Bro, you know Asmongold. You hit him up. What do you say?
Oh, right.
We aren't going to hit him up, bro. You hit him up. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, he loves stuff like this. Yeah, he totally loves like video game content. He would totally love this.
All right. All right. Join us next week when Asmongold will be with us and we'll be playing the game because I'm going to design it and build it in a week.
Yeah, Claude can do it. Let's go.
All right. God bless you all. Good evening. Good night.
Are you ready to take your Nerf combat to the next level?
Hey, am I?
Get ready for the newest in Nerf warfare, the Nerf Nuke. Whoa! Simply punch in the command code to activate the Nerf Nuke's plutonium reactor. Enter your keys into the arm launch module, and then it's up to you to make the ultimate decision.
Hey, guys! My mom just got me the Nerf Nuke.
Oh man, what are we gonna do? He's got a Nerf nuke.
Well, we could pool our allowances together and get 2 Nerf nukes.
Why'd you call this meeting today? Was it to give me all your lunch monies?
We have recently acquired 2 Nerf nukes.
What? Mom, I need more money for Nerf nukes.
I just bought you one.
Well, can I have my next 7 months allowance up front?
No, then you won't have any money for the rest of the year.
Mom, this is serious. All right, let's make an agreement that none of us will get any more Nerf nukes.
Agreed.
I'm getting one. I'm getting a Nerf nuke also.
Okay, that kid can definitely not get a Nerf nuke.
No way.
Well, I already have one actually. My mom got me one. It's in my basement.
I don't believe him. He's too poor.
Yeah, but what if he gets like a crappy one from somebody or something?
Just the fact that he's looking for one is bad news.
Maybe we should just jump him now while we can.
But he hasn't done anything to us yet. Isn't that messed up? He's like, poor.
The Nerf Nuke. Nerf Nuke. From the makers of the Cum Bomb.